Let me talk to you all about when learner engagement goes wrong. So sometimes learner engagement can be a bad thing. Now, when can it be a bad thing, you might ask? Well, first of all, my name is Jay Bryan. I'm a learner engagement specialist, and learner engagement can be bad when it affects the schedule, if you will. If it makes you run out of time in teaching what you're trying to teach your students, your learners. So I know for a long time, a long, long time, I would struggle with staying on schedule with what I was supposed to teach or train. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I was thinking, why am I not able to get through all of this stuff? I see other corporate trainers on my team get through the same stuff. What's going on? I found out that I was using a little too many engagement techniques and I was doing too much learner engagement. So, if that's an issue that you find yourself struggling with, let's talk about what you can do to resolve that problem. So, there are three things that you can do. There are three things that you can do to resolve the issue if learner engagement is actually affecting your time, your schedule, how fast or slow you're able to get through the training. So, first thing you can try doing is to change up the engagement techniques you use. Some engagement techniques take longer than others, period. For example, one learner engagement technique is at what's called a brain break or stretch break, giving someone a second away from the computer. Now, these can range anywhere from it's maybe 2 minutes minimum to whatever, 15 minutes, whatever you decide to do as the educator or the corporate trainer. But there are shorter learner engagement techniques like having a simple slide inserted with a optical illusion or something like that. There's also many other ones that do not take as much time. Just asking a simple, fun question. Hey, what movies are you watching right now? What are you doing for fun? What are your hobbies? And letting people engage in a 1 or 2 minute conversation. That's a much shorter learner engagement technique. So, first thing is to switch up the learner engagement techniques that you're using. The second one is to adjust your schedule accordingly. Now, this is one that I personally have used a lot. I've actually kept a lot of my learner engagement and I would increase the amount of time on my schedule allotted for whatever the subject matter was that I was teaching. Now, of course, this depends on if you're able, if you have that opening to even do that. So, if you have that flexibility, absolutely, that's a great way to go. You can adjust your schedule accordingly. And then the third thing is to remove some of the engagement, not change the technique up, just remove it. Oftentimes, I found that I may not have even needed that much learner engagement. I might have used two or three things at one time, but it wasn't always the best to use all of those. So instead, I'll use just one learner engagement technique. I'll remove the other two. Or I could remove all of the learner engagement from that portion of the training. So those are some of the tips. It's definitely once I was able to definitely use number two and number three a lot more, I found that I was able to stay on schedule, on track, and I was able to prevent the learner engagement from becoming a bad thing. So again, you all, um, I teach all about this. If you would like for me to come in and work with your organization, I can work with your corporate trainers, your staff, anyone who trains people essentially. You can reach out at info@jbryanspeaks.com. Again, that's info@jbryanspeaks.com. One more time, that's info@jaybryan speaks.com. And one more time, we've been talking about when learner engagement can be a bad thing. And this, again, is when it takes up too much time. It throws your schedule off. And we talked about three things you can do. You can change up the engagement technique that you're using, use a shorter one instead of a longer one. You can adjust your schedule accordingly, or you can remove some of the engagement. Any of them will work. So with that, again, I'm Jay Bryan, learner engagement specialist, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.